lives.
Introducing the Kenya Trade Fair Fusion Sales Drive event in the heart of Nairobi at the Kenya National Archives. It's not just an event, it's sales generation with a remarkable return on investment. Get ready to let your booth do the talking as you study new market trends with lots of entertainment featuring traditional live bands, DJs and artists. For vendor registration, call 0724 715 334 or 0713 907 584 or 0723 861 173.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. Remember, this is the Morning Drift. In case you're joining us, it is exactly 9 a.m. on this 24th, the day of October 2023. When we talk about October, we're talking about the Pink Month. We're talking about the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now, according to statistics from the World Health Organization, at least 2.4 million cases are reported each and every year. Those are cases of breast cancer. Now, here in the country, according to the Ministry of Health, those who are affected by breast cancer are estimated to be around 16.1%. Now, how do you tackle matters of breast cancer? Now, this cancer is known to be one of the most deadly diseases in the country. Not only in the country, by the way, but even across the globe. Across the globe, the second deadliest, second to cardiovascular diseases. And in the foreseeable future, cancer is seen as a threat. It could be the most deadly disease. Well, joining me this morning is Mr. Isaji Musa, the CEO of Eda's Hope Cancer Foundation. Very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for making time to be with us.
You're welcome.
Now, we're talking about cancer, specifically breast cancer, it being the Awareness Month. First of all, let's talk about Eda's Hope Foundation, Cancer Foundation. What necessitated you to come up with that foundation?
Funny enough, I lost my mom to breast cancer. That's the most funny thing. So I started the foundation. I founded the foundation because I saw there was need for young people to be made aware about the disease. Because during the course of my mom being sick, I'd take her to hospital and then I'd go to hang out with my friends, but I realized they didn't know anything about cancer. So the awareness part was missing, and that's why I founded the organization.
Awareness. Does it mean, because most cancer patients, especially breast cancer, do not realize they have cancer. And like they always say, the earlier you know it, the better.
Better, yeah.
If you know it late, then chances of it being, dealt with completely are minimal. Now, how do you know that maybe I have cancer?
Your body is like, I usually equate it to your car. If you have a puncture, you don't go to check in the engine. So most people tend to, for example, if you have a swelling in your arm, you hide it. Or if you have a headache, you tend to take maramoja or painkillers for quite some time, and then by the time you go to the hospital, it's late. I don't know if I'm making sense. So I tend to equate it to a car. If you have a puncture, deal with the puncture immediately. If you have an engine leak, oil leak, deal with the oil leak. You're getting. Most people tend to negate the fact that I have a puncture, and you keep on prolonging the process of dealing with the puncture, and that's what the problem comes in.
Talking of problem, how big of a problem are we talking about when we talk about breast cancer?
let me talk about cancer in general, because I'm a director at KENCO, Kenya Network of Cancer Organization. It's a group of cancer organizations that come together from all over the country. It's a humongous problem. You cannot negate the fact that cancer is a problem in Kenya. We tend to look aside, and most people who've been affected, I'm not talking about the people who've been diagnosed, but most people who've been affected. Then, okay, I've lost my dad, I've lost my mom, I've lost my child, and we tend to keep quiet. So the problem keeps on growing and growing and growing. I don't know if there is one person who's not been affected by cancer. So all of us have been affected, but we keep on sugarcoating the problem, and the problem keeps on growing and growing.
Now, I've had instances, and I know people who, first of all, my question would be, is cancer hereditary? Is it hereditary?
Yeah, it's a hereditary problem.
I've met someone before, I've talked to someone before who they have no cases of, traces of cancer in their family, in their lineage, but it just sprang out of nowhere. So, in terms of lifestyle, how does breast cancer come about? Is there a certain lifestyle that can be attributed to it being one of the causes, one of the things that can bring about cancer, breast cancer specifically?
Certain medicines, like my mom used to take high blood pressure medicines. Everything in moderation. We live in an age where people we're indulging in alcohol. People, you leave your bed, you go to the shower, you leave the shower, you go to your car, you leave your car, you go to your office space and you sit the whole day. You leave there, you go to a bar and you start drinking, and you get it. How we need to change how we live. I don't know if I'm making sense. You might be eating well, but at the end of the day, you need to change. As young people, you need to change our lifestyles. I don't know if I'm making sense. You need to walk. You need to go to the gym. You need to watch what you're eating. You need to. So you leave your office. You hang out with your friends, and then there's alcohol involved, and then there's nyama choma involved, and you get it. And then you go home and sleep, and then you wake up the next day and do. It's repeatedly. So by the end of the year, you find out you've not exercised, you've not eaten healthy, and that's what's causing the ongoing things about cancer.
Now, having encountered breast cancer, sure you talk about it, but how was the experience in ensuring that your mother, how's the experience medically in terms of ensuring that she gets proper health care through the all the procedures that one has to undergo, when you're suffering from breast cancer? How has it been?
It's such a good question you've asked, because that's the reason why I founded the Dazo Cancer Foundation, because at that time I was flying for KQ and I had resources, for lack of a better word, and I asked myself, what happens to someone who doesn't have the resources to cater for their mom? Because I had resources. I had a good salary at that point, and I said, what happens to someone who doesn't have the means to cater for their mom or their dad or their child or something? So what EDAZOP does, we pay for NHIF for needy mothers who've been diagnosed with cancer. Just to answer your question, it was not an easy journey. Cancer doesn't have a face until you are the face, or someone you love is the face. So people who've been, and I think that's why people tend to shun away from fighting the disease, because you don't have a face until it's your face or it's someone you love. That's the face you're getting. So the journey wasn't easy. I can tell you for free. And people need to be made aware of how to fight cancer, because it's not an easy feat. So people need to be getting involved, and that's why we run with the Tag Cancer Soldiers, and people need to get involved in the fight against cancer.
Just to, you know, help the viewer as well understand, sorry to refer to this again. Did you guys realize she was cancerous at an early stage or in the latter stages? Because the earlier it is, the earlier you realize you have cancer, it is easier to treat it. Though they say sometimes there's no guarantee that, yeah, you can be treated fully and, you know, be cancer-free again. But sometimes it happens. Most of the times it happens. What was the stage initially when she realized she had cancer?
Funny enough, my mom knew had cancer, but I come from a single parent family, and my mom knew he had cancer, but she didn't tell us, myself and my brother. So she would go to Kenyatta, get chemo, and come and act like everything was normal.
You guys didn't know anything at all?
No. We didn't know anything, and I'd start seeing my mom going to the bathroom with a headscarf, and I didn't know. I thought she was trying to hide the white hair, you know. But at the end of the day, she was trying to. She didn't have hair, but she didn't want us to know. So by the time I knew she had cancer, it was stage 4. And then her friends would come and tell her to take, it's called what? The coffee, the Chinese coffee, it will help. By the time I knew, it was long gone.
Okay, as a foundation, how many people have you reached out to?
471 as per yesterday. We paid the NHIF for them for 6,000. We try and get needy mothers. We partner with the NHIF and we partner with Kenyatta National Hospital to try and pay for needy mothers. The thing is needy because
the expenses that comes with it.
Yeah, because the cancer expenses are so dire. Like, we try and get the most neediest of mothers from referral hospitals. That's why we partner with KNF, and we try and get the most needy. So when a mother goes to Kenyatta National Hospital, is told, okay, fine, do you have NHIF? No, I don't. They take the social workers take their numbers, and then once they, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're called. I still don't have money. We pay for them.
Okay. At what point in time, at what age does screening have to happen? If at all you may not be fearing the fact that, okay, not from the fear that you might have cancer, but just for to know your health status in terms of whether you have any problem in your body, to do cancer screening. At what age is it recommended?
I'm not a big fan of ages, because how I look at things is your body. Someone's body reacts differently. You don't have to be old. Of course, if you're old, of course your cells become more susceptible to cancer. But people need to listen to their bodies, because there's childhood cancer. I don't know if I'm making sense, because if there's childhood cancer, that means there's no age limit to when you're supposed to become conscious. Making sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So if there's childhood cancer, that means there's no age. People just need to listen to their bodies and know, eat right, exercise frequently, everything in moderation. And I'm not a big fan of telling young people not to drink, for example, because we are negating the fact that people who drink are actually, they have cells and they can get cancer. You're getting. So how do we, because if you tell young people to go for a screening in KNH, how many people would go?
Very few.
Very few. So how do we get these young people to be health conscious? You're getting. People to know cancer is real, cancer affects people, cancer affects everyone, there's no age limit. So I'm not a big fan of age. People need to be conscious about what goes on in their bodies.
Fair enough. Sometimes, sometimes the treatment of cancer, breast cancer varies. Some people would, recover within a very short period of time, regardless of, the stage. Yeah. You could have two different people who started treatment when, having breast cancer at stage 1. Yeah. For others, the treatment would take a short period of time. For others, it would take a much more longer period. Why does the time in terms of recovery or treatment vary?
Wow, that's you see, people fight diseases differently, and people fight. It's just something that goes on in your mind. There's someone who will be diagnosed with cancer today, the next month they're gone, because there are people who fight it to the bitter end, and some succeed, some don't. So it's just a psychological thing. I cannot say it is there's a regime that people fight chemo differently. People fight radiotherapy differently. It is just how you look, your perception of life. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's just a perception that how you tackle the disease, how you tackle a mountain is what makes the difference. So there's some people who go for 2 regimes of chemotherapy, that's 12 cycles, and they come out of it. There are people who go that's 1, 2, 3 cycles and they don't make it, regardless of the stage it is. So it is just a perception of how you look at life and how your will to live. Because cancer is not a mean feat, I'll tell you for free. So it's just how you look at things and how you fight the disease that makes the difference.
Now, as a foundation, what are you doing in terms of creating awareness about breast cancer?
We don't deal with breast cancer alone. We deal with all cancers, because cancer is staged in different months. Like there's childhood cancer, there's prostate, there's breast. Actually, this is not a breast cancer awareness month. It is a breast cancer awareness month. It's not a cancer awareness month. Yeah. Most people come out in October and say cancer awareness. No. It's a breast cancer awareness month. So what we do is we create awareness. I don't know if we create awareness about the disease. So each month we tackle a different as we move along. So we try and make young people get involved in the fight against cancer. That's what we call cancer soldiers. How do we do it? We use technology, fashion, music. We have galas. People dress up in bow ties and come to Kempinski and dresses and have a meal, and we celebrate those people who fought against cancer. We use soccer, football. We have something called Kicking Cancer. We try and make, for lack of a better word, we try and make fighting cancer fun. Getting, and that's the only way guys will get involved in the fight against cancer. Because if you tell young people go to Kayole and get screened, no one will come. But if you tell someone there's a concert, tell young people there's a concert, and let me just use the word, Nyashinsky is performing, guys will come, and then you can create awareness in that stage. Someone will be curious to say, you know what, my mom died of cancer, and or my dad or my child, or you're getting. So that's how we try and get as many young people involved as possible.
Okay. In your period of the foundation being in operation, the period it has been in operation, have you at some point maybe thought of partnering or reaching out to the Ministry of Health to help you in not only creating awareness but also being able to boost your foundation to reach out more people?
Funny enough, we we are working actually with the county government right now as we speak. You will see most zebra crossing painted pink. So that's a way we try and play with different stakeholders to try and create awareness. So what EDAZOB is trying to do is, when someone sees a pink red zebra crossing, we'll ask what's happening, and that's some form of creating awareness. We've reached out, we've worked with, like I said, we are a member of Kenya Network of Cancer Organizations, and we're trying to play with everyone, all stakeholders, including the Ministry of Health, including the county government, to try and create as much awareness as possible. Because awareness is what's important. At the end of the day, if awareness is not created, then there's nothing we're doing. So yes, we've worked with the Ministry of Health. We are working currently with the county government, thanks to Sakaja. He's given us a leeway to paint the crossings in Nairobi pink. And if someone asks why is this the crossing pink, that's awareness being created.
Okay. Now, as a foundation, Eda's Hope, at the beginning I wanted to ask, why the name Eda's Hope? I tried figuring it out. I was like, maybe your mom you named it after your mom.
Yes, I named it after my mom.
Fair enough. As a foundation, the youngest case you've dealt with?
Wow. We have something called Grant a Smile. There are kids who we try and get influencers and celebrities. We've done something with Wanyama. We've done something with so many influencers around. And it goes as little as 6 years old. So we also tackle childhood cancer, but we try and make celebrities get involved in the fight against cancer, because that's the only way that the awareness can be created. I don't know if I make sense. So we've worked with so many influencers and celebrities. It doesn't vary, like from Joe Mushiri to, people getting involved and learning more about cancer and using their platform to create the awareness that's needed.
I was actually asking in terms of, because there's, to demystify the fact that only, those who are old enough, those above 20 are the ones who can be affected by breast cancer. What is the youngest person you've helped who's battling breast cancer?
We did something with the Maina Kageni 10 million campaign. And the organization took Maina to Kenyatta National Hospital. There was 2 years old who have been affected, and that's the day we raised 30 million, 31 million within 4 hours. It was just a day in his show, and we bought beds for them. We bought needles, because kids, they cannot be injected with the adult needles. So they need the plastic ones we bought for them. We bought the infusion pumps for them. And we've dealt with 2-year-olds who are being affected with cancer.
Damn, that's crazy. So, does the treatment vary, or is it the same? Because if a 2-year-old is battling cancer, if they have to go through the entire procedure, be it chemo, be it, does treatment vary? Because you have to look at, the radiations and all that in terms of, the age. Is it the same? In terms of the implications of,
It's not the same, but it's the same. How will I put it? The medicine is the same, but the regime is not the same.
Exactly.
Because
I
the
wanted to know.
equipment
Because
used are not the same.
What you know, you don't maybe think my body can sustain this type of
Exactly.
treatment.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
the body of a 2-year-old might not be able to
Yeah,
sustain
exactly. That's why the needles are not the same. The needles are plastic. Your needles are going to be the same needles used. The regime is not the same depending on which stage it is. So you can find like, for a child it's more mild. For an adult, it's depending on how aggressive the disease or the cancer is. So it's not this. It's the same, but it's not the same. It's chemo is chemo, radio is radio, but it's not the same. It depends on how old you are, how extensive the disease is, and stuff like that.
Well, fair enough. There you go. Cancer you can be a victim of, or you can be a warrior. Not really say
that's the right one actually.
You're a warrior.
Yeah.
You can be you can have breast cancer or any other type of cancer at whatever age. It doesn't really matter. But what matters is you being able to embrace the situation and fight it on.
Exactly.
Be able to ensure that you can fight sometimes there's that stigmatization that comes with cancer. But we're just going on a short commercial break, and then we'll come back and talk about your foundation. Apart from helping them with footing their medical bills and all that, what else do you guys do? But we'll talk much more about that after this short commercial break. Remember, we're talking about breast cancer awareness, so don't go away.
Introducing the Kenya Trade Fair Fusion Sales Drive event in the heart of Nairobi at the Kenya National Archives. It's not just an event, it's sales generation with a remarkable return on investment. Get ready to let your booth do the talking as you study new market trends with lots of entertainment featuring traditional live bands, DJs and artists. For vendor registration, call 0724 715 334 or 0713 907 584 or 0723 861 173.
On the 2nd and 3rd of November 2023, join thousands of leaders from across the country and beyond. This premier leadership event, the Global Leadership Summit, will be hosted at Sitam Karen. World-class speakers at the summit this year include Pastor Craig Groeschel, the GLS champion, Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State of the United States of America, Pat Gelsinger, the CEO of Intel Corporation, Chris Methabula, South Africa, among others. Local speakers include Dr. David Oginde, the Chairperson of Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Dennis Njao, the Director of Payments and Retail Banking at Equity Bank Limited, Julius Kipngetich, the Group CEO, Jubilee Insurance, Margaret Sirma of the College of Health Science at Nairobi Hospital, George Njuguna, Director of Information and Technology at Safaricom PLC, Bishop Kalisto Odede, the presiding Bishop of Christ is the Answer Ministries. Summit fee is Kenya shillings 2,900. Register now through Paybill 825500, account number GLS 2023. For more information, call 0722 490 325. Register now. The Global Leadership Summit. Lead where you are.
Are you a business owner in the retail business of fast-moving goods in the market, and your goal is to boost and expand your business? Juhudi Kilimo is now offering you financial support with super fast loans of up to 30,000 processed within 1 to 3 hours. All you need is your original ID, KRA PIN, 6 months M-Pesa statement, proof of permanent business and 2 guarantors. Visit any of our branches today or call us on 0709 692 000 or send an SMS to 20103 at no charge. Juhudi Kilimo, investing in farmers, transforming lives.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. This is the Morning Drift, and in case you're just joining us, you're talking about matters breast cancer awareness. And you're talking with Mr. Isarjan. Sometimes you might not know you have whatever type of cancer. And we're talking with you during this short break, and you know, the fear that people have to go, you know, get themselves screened. And you're telling me it's not really about the fear of, you know, knowing your status or going to get some screening to know whether you have cancer or not. What is it about?
It's a case of putting the horse before the cart. People tend to, cancer has been stigmatized, for lack of a better word, and people tend to think you need to get, if you get cancer, you're going to die. That's a lie, and that's what's been dramatized for so long. And people get checked at the latter stages, and that's why people die. People need to know that not necessarily that you're going to get cancer, you'll die. People need to know that cancer is not a death sentence at the end of the day. Cancer is just a disease like any other. Once we reverse that and people start knowing that you can actually get, there are people who've beaten cancer and most of the people who've beaten cancer need to come out and speak and start speaking and start talking, and so that we have cases of people. The foundation has actually assisted people who actually beaten cancer. But when you tell them, come and speak out, can we do a video? They tend to say, no, I don't. So I don't know if it's the fear, but people need to start coming out and talking more about beating cancer, because cancer is not bigger than people who've beaten cancer. So people need to come out and speak more and more about beating cancer, because there are people who've beaten cancer, but the cases, people don't want to talk about it. So the cases of cancer deaths are more than people who've beaten cancer, and yet there are people who've beaten cancer.
As a foundation, how many success stories have you had of people who've recovered from, you know, cancer, of people you've helped as a foundation to, you know, beat cancer?
I'll be honest, there are few.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, like I said, we've helped more than 471 per yesterday. But people who have come out and said, people that I know, because we help random strangers, we don't help particular people, but people who've come and said, no, I've beaten cancer, they're less than 20. People who come back and said, thank you, but we've helped so many people, so we don't, the reported cases, like I said, there's so much stigma about people who come back and say, I'm well. You're getting? So what we need to do is drum out people who've beaten cancer and to come out more and more and more, so that other people can say, you know what, this guy beat cancer, this mother beat cancer, you're getting? But there are few. People tend to go and disappear in the limelight.
Earlier when we were talking about, you know, how if you know, your lifestyle could contribute to you getting breast cancer. Having, you know, experienced it firsthand, and, you know, as well dealing with the people who have breast cancer as a foundation, as the CEO of the foundation, what changes would you probably say, lifestyle changes that you'd probably say those who, you know, who have breast cancer should adopt, or maybe those who do have, you know, breast cancer or should adopt to avoid, you know, getting breast cancer? What sort of lifestyle should they adopt?
Everything in moderation. Like, people get knocked on the road and they die, but that doesn't negate people from crossing the road. You're getting? Everything in moderation. If you love your whiskey, don't don't overdo it. If you love your gin, don't overdo it. If you love your burger, don't overdo it. Everything in moderation. Because you cannot tell people not to do certain things. Because it's life. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
People need to enjoy life. If you love your beer, do it in moderation. If you love your whatever, do it in moderation. If you love your veggies, do it in moderation. Everything in moderation. Because if you tell people, if you start telling people not to do a certain thing, then you're not being real. Because people are going to do it either way. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
So if you tell people, do a certain thing, but do it in moderation, it makes sense. So people can know. I love using the alcohol example, because people drink, and you cannot tell people not to drink, and it's one of the factors that causes cancer. You're getting it's well known, unless it's a single malt. I don't know if you know that single malt, they have the ninis that help fight cancer. But you're not going to tell people not to drink. People are going to drink either way. So listen to your body and do it in moderation. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even flour, even GMOs, just listen to your body and do it in moderation.
Now, as a foundation, Mr. Isaji, apart from helping those under your foundation's care foot their medical bills, like you said, because you are sort of trying to try and help. You're helping the needy, the most needy. Apart from footing the medical bills, do you also follow up to ensure that they can be able to sort of fend for themselves once or while they're undergoing treatment or something?
That's the most trickiest part. It's the most challenging part that the organization is facing at the moment, because, like I said, there's stigma involved in treatment. So what the organization does is making sure if there are 8 cycles that a patient needs to go through, we make sure they go through the 8 cycles. And then if they need more cycles, we make sure they go through the other cycles we pay for them. But most people just go under the radar. So because you see, it's a continuous cycle. Like every month we get different patients. So what the organization does is it pays for Mary, John, and Joseph. Then there'll be Mark, Isaji, and the rest. So it's a continuous cycle. You're getting. Those who come back, like I said, to say, thank you, I'm cancer-free, due to stigma, are very few. I don't know if I'm making sense. So what the organization does is we try and follow up, yes, but it's hard to get. Some don't pick their call, some don't. So cancer is a very dicey affair. You tend to find people who've beaten cancer tend not to want to talk about it, and their families don't want them to talk about it. And people who've not beaten cancer, they end up just fading away. And the problem is actually the family. I don't want my dad to talk about what we went through, because it's like a journey, and it's a very sad journey. So you're seeing your father die now, lose hair, become weak, become skinny, and then most families don't want to go back to what happened.
The experience. Yes.
The experience. So we're having a very funny situation where we want to do documentaries about people who beaten cancer, but most families tell you, no, I don't want my father being that face.
Yeah.
So that's one of the challenges that we're facing.
Now, with the financial constraints that comes with treating or helping breast cancer patients, do you as the CEO of Heather Hope's Cancer Foundation feel like the government can do more, or the ministry can do more in ensuring that the breast cancer patients can get more help, especially in public hospitals?
I'm not a big fan of criticizing the government because there's NHIF which is trying to help.
True.
It's not trying, actually. It's coming through.
Yeah, especially the president.
I just think there's more that needs to be done in terms of sensitizing the public, in terms of how
creating awareness.
Yeah. But I think more should be done. In fact, looking at the numbers that people are, cases that are being diagnosed in a daily basis, I think the government needs to do more in terms of making cancer, I'm looking for the word, making cancer more to the public. Like it is more than a disease, because people are dying every day. Like I usually tell people, when my mom died in Texas Cancer Foundation, Texas Cancer Center, and my mom was the 67th person to die that day.
That day?
That day.
Goodness.
In that center.
That's just one center?
That's one center. That's a day.
Goodness.
So you could do Kenyatta, you could do Kijabe, you could do, there's so many centers.
There's Chandari in Eldoret.
Yeah, you could do everywhere. So there's more that the government needs to do to make the fight against cancer, because it's bigger than we think. Because if I ask you, how many people do you know that have been diagnosed with cancer? There's so many. You know someone who's been diagnosed, you know someone who's been affected, and yet it's being treated like a common cold. You're getting? So the government needs to do more. It's doing yet whatever it can, but it needs to do more in the fight against cancer. Like I see in Rwanda, people walking, there's so many things that the government can do. Even just concerts and creating awareness about the disease, so that more and more people can be aware. Because we're losing people by the day.
So it's about, the government should invest more in having, that awareness, to reach out more people.
Exactly.
Reach out to the people in the villages.
And let people who've been affected come out and speak about the disease. Because people are not speaking about the disease. You're getting? People who can afford go to India, people who can, you're getting many people who are on stage 4 going to India to get something it's called palliative care. It cannot be reversed.
True.
You're getting? So the government need to tell people, you're on stage 4, get palliative care. There are so many hospices. Can you boost these hospices so that many people can get access to this? You'll be astonished that many people don't know what a hospice is. Many people don't know where you can get a hospice services in Nairobi. Yet they're just next to Kenyatta. So these hospice palliative care services, can we boost them up, and can we, Nairobi hospice, whatever, all these hospices, can we utilize them? As opposed to telling someone, people are fundraising and going to Mumbai, and yet it's irreversible. And the Indians are taking advantage of this. People are getting commissions just to take patients to India, yet they know this person is in stage 4 and nothing can be done.
Truly. Now, I began by saying, and this is, according to WHO, cancer is currently ranked second deadliest disease. Of course, second to these other cardiovascular diseases. But it is being regarded, or it's seen as it's going to be the most deadly disease in the foreseeable future. Why so?
Lifestyle changes. I lost my father-in-law to lung cancer. He used to smoke. But I once told him, you wake up very early in the morning, you eat your fruits on the dining table, you jump into your car, you drive to work, you park your car, you stay in your office the whole day, you jump into your car, come back home. Well, of course, we used to enjoy our whiskey, sat. What time do you walk? You were actually astonished, because when I leave here, I'm going to jump either to my car or to an Uber, and I go home. I'll sit down, work the whole day. We are sat right now. I'll go. It's just lifestyle changes. Like, people need to realize that walk, run, go to the gym.
Basic things.
Basic things, like away from the norm. Getting, like, just basic things. The things that we negate, like just walking.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting. Of course, there's the normal thing that we're going to do, like eating and eating healthy. But there's that just basic thing, like just walking. Say, you know what, I'm going to walk for a few steps, I come back. And that's what's causing cancer. There's nothing. You're going to eat your burger, sat. You're going to you're going to drink, sat. You're going to eat your funny food, umeketi. So we need to change that. And that's the problem. There's no other problem.
When you talk about numbers, Mr. Isaji, you said you lost your mom and she was the 67th person to lose the battle to cancer that day. Of the cases that you've handled, of the people under your foundation, is it 471?
Yeah, 471.
471. From the 471, are they distributed like from different areas, or just basically those within Nairobi and its environs?
Different areas completely. When you come to a referral hospital in Kenyatta, you've been referred. I don't even know who they are. I just assist as much as I can, but I don't know. But they are from Mombasa, Kilifi, they are from Kisumu, they are from someone who's been sent to Kenyatta to come and, because it's a referral hospital. So what we do is just we create an e-slip and we pay for you once you get your ID and stuff, and we pay for you, and that's it.
Do you also, as a foundation, help patients from, other hospitals, or is it specifically from Kenyatta Hospital?
We do Kijabe and Kenyatta Hospital. Because what the main idea is to get referrals.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone from Malindi will come to Kenyatta. Where do they sleep? Have you ever seen yourself for that? Mm-hmm. So where do they sleep? So that's someone who's from, because most patients tend to, do you know they sleep on the grass there?
That's tough.
Yeah, and that's for like 30 days. So that's, we try and intervene, for lack of a better word. Let's just try and help them, see how far we can go, and work with different hospices and see how best we can help them. But we don't bagua, as in, no, we just help and assist, and that's what we do.
You help whoever needs help.
Whoever needs help,
you reach out
intervene,
to.
yeah.
Now, apart from Kenyatta Hospital, and you also said
Kijabe.
you also said you've sort of partnered with the Nairobi City County. Any other organizations or entity that has come on board to help you as Eda Hope's Cancer Foundation?
First of all, like I mentioned earlier, we're in KENCO, Kenya Network of Cancer Organizations. So there are many organizations that we play with, we interact with. But there are people like Classic, like I mentioned, what we did in Minor, Kenya Harlequins Rugby Club, Naondis. There are people who just come, and right now we are partnering with Robilac to give us paint. There are people who just come in and in one way or another try and assist us in the fight against cancer. So it's not only hospitals, but it's anyone. Like right now, I'm doing an interview with you. You're playing your part in the fight against cancer. So it's not defined like it's just hospitals or it's just hospices. It's just anyone and anyone. I've worked with Jimani, Homeboys, and so we try and make like I said, the fight against cancer fun. I know it's not supposed to be fun, but we try and involve as many people as possible in the fight against cancer.
Now, as a foundation, you aspire to reach out to many people as possible, because at the end of the day, there are millions of people battling cancer. What would be that one thing that probably, as a foundation, you'd really appreciate if you'd get from whatever quarters? That one thing that would really help you reach out to more people.
Media plays a very big part in the fight against cancer. That's. I don't know if the media is aware, but media plays a very big part in the fight against cancer. If media was involved in as much as possible, even just a segment in a day, that would be really awesome. Because media plays a really big part. It's just that they don't know, or rather they're not being sensitized, but media plays a very big part in the fight against it. If it was my prayer that media would really get involved, that would be awesome. Media really needs to get involved in the fight against cancer. Be it social, be it mainstream, be it... You see those small segments that media does in the news element, I don't call them comments, but just a segment that says breast cancer, this is how you check your breast, this is how you check your prostate, there's this camp here, there's this. That would be really awesome.
Now, as we mark, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is October, also known as the Pink Month, do you as an organization have an event or a program specifically to mark this particular month?
We used to have galas, like I mentioned before, but due to COVID, now we're going to have them next year. So this month we're just painting Nairobi pink, and we're trying to raise as much as possible to make sure that any needy mother have access to professional medical care. That's what we're doing this month. But next year we're going to have the galas. We usually have them at Kepinski, where young people just come with dresses and bow ties and have a good meal and raise funds to the fight against cancer.
Now, Mr. Isaji, we are coming to the end of this conversation, and my director is telling me we have a couple of minutes. I don't want to give you that a couple of minutes to, having encountered, breast cancer, firsthand, encountered it firsthand. I don't just you to, tell the viewer, talk to the viewer, what is your rallying call to them in terms of, being aware and not being scared of stigmatization and all that? I believe, this is your camera.
Everyone needs to get involved in the fight against cancer. No one is immune, and we're all affected or diagnosed by cancer. My rallying call is everyone needs to get involved. Know your body, everything in moderation, and get involved. you don't have to be old, you don't have to be young for you to get involved in the fight against cancer. Get involved, get involved, get involved. Don't let cancer come knocking at your door and you don't have a solution to it. Get involved, help someone who's been affected, help someone who's been diagnosed, and let's all fight cancer together, cancer soldiers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isaji, for making time to be with us. And you know, it's so refreshing and so motivating and empowering to see that out of your own experience, you're trying to help more people, you know, many people as you can, as many people as you can, to ensure that they can be able to get the help they need to battle breast cancer. Thank you very much for making time to be with us today.
You're welcome.
Now, that was Mr. Isaji Musa, the CEO of Eda's Hope Cancer Foundation, here with us on the Morning Drift, just to give you an overview of breast cancer and what the foundation is doing to ensure that they can be able to help breast cancer patients here in the country. Like you said, they've, as of yesterday, they have already helped around 471 cancer patients, breast cancer patients in the country. And of course, like you said, he's rallying call to the media to participate more, and of course even the government to do more initiatives to create awareness on matters breast cancer. Like you've had it, go out, don't be scared, don't be scared of stigmatization or anything, but most importantly, work on your lifestyle. Your lifestyle plays a big role, a very, very big role in ensuring that if at all you have breast cancer, you can be able to, go about it well, and if you don't, it can help you, avert breast cancer. Now, thank you very much for making time to be with us today here on the Morning Drift on the 24th of October 2023. And remember, before this conversation, we had the conversation surrounding youth and politics, and Mr. Edwin Kigoli was here, and he just reminded me to tell you or let you know that if you live in Nairobi and its environs, there's a free cancer screening at Kama Hospital, free breast cancer and cervical cancer screening at Kama Hospital in Ongata, Rongai. That is part of the awareness that Mr. Isaji Musa is talking about. But that is all we have for you tonight. Remember, you can visit our website this morning, remember, you can visit our website www.lookuptv.co.ke just to get an overview of the stories making headlines, not only here in the country but as well across the borders. And as a wrap up, to all those who are battling breast cancer, remember, you're not alone and you've got this. You all are always. You have yourself a lovely day, and like always, God bless.